Welcome to another ASVAB Speed video. You're about to see a compilation of 10 questions about general science explained in 8 minutes. Remember, every time you see a question, you should pause and solve on your own. Let's begin. General science. Under natural conditions, large quantities of organic matter decay after each year's plant growth has been completed. As a result of such conditions, remember, pause, solve on your own, put answer in comments. Let's begin. Organic matter decay after each year's plant growth. A way to visualize it is imagine leaves falling off a tree. When organic matter decays, it decomposes into its fundamental elements. These elements are returned to the soil, thus increasing its fertility. So of all the answers, the best option is C. Soils maintain their fertility. General science. Which is not a fruit? Remember to pause, solve on your own, put answer in comments. Let's begin. Now this is a simple question, but there's a tricky word here, not. Be very careful if you ever see the word not in a testing question. Now the key thing to remember, fruits have seeds. Tomato, cucumber, and green pepper all have seeds. However, potato is a tuber. So your answer is D, potato. General science. The most likely reason dinosaurs became extinct was that they, remember to pause, solve on your own, put answer in comments. Let's begin. A key word here is most likely. So we're looking for the best answer. Now, the extinction of all sizes and varieties of dinosaurs all over the world can't be simply explained by localized phenomena. So it's not as simple as saying volcanoes erupted, they were eaten, or they killed each other. The most reasonable assumption is that the dinosaurs failed to adapt and were unable to survive as climate conditions changed radically. So of the answers, C is the best. Failed to adapt to a changing environment. General science. Which of the following is a chemical change? Remember to pause, solve on your own, put answer in comments. Let's begin. When we look at all four answers, these are all examples of changes, but the question is to find a chemical change. Let's go one by one. Magnetizing. Nope. Physical change. Not the answer. Mixing flake graphite with oil. They do not react with each other, so that's a physical change. Vaporizing mercury changes it into a gas, which is a physical change, so we're left with burning. Well, burning coal is a combustion which forms new substances, so yes, that is a chemical change. Your answer is B, burning 1 pound of coal. General science. In the process of manufacturing food, plants, remember to pause, solve on your own, and put answer in the comments. Let's begin. All right, so let's talk a little bit about plants. Plants use the energy of the sun to manufacture food through photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process by which green plants and certain other organisms transform light energy into chemical energy. Now, A, create energy, looks like a good answer. But let's remember, they transform light energy. So of the four options, the best answer is C, store energy of the sun. General science. One-celled animals belong to the group of living things known as, remember to pause, solve on your own, put answer in comments. Let's begin. Key term here, one-celled animals. Let's go through what is not a one-celled animal. Annelida. This is a worms, not one-celled. How about porifera? These are sponges, not one-celled. How about Anthropoda? These are spiders and crustaceans, not one-celled. That leaves us with protozoa. Yes, one-celled animals. This is your answer, A, protozoa. General science. Spiders can be distinguished from insects by the fact that spiders have what? Remember to pause, solve on your own, put answer in comments. Let's begin. Now this should be an easy one, but let's do our due diligence and learn something today. Hard outer coverings? Well, that's an exoskeleton. Most insects, including spiders, have an exoskeleton. Now spiders, aren't they known for large abdomens? Sure are, but many other insects are as well too, so cross that out. How about biting mouth parts? Most insects bite. They use what's called mandibles. Spiders use chelicera. So that's out. How about their famous 4 pairs of legs? Absolutely, because true insects have only 3 pairs of legs, 6 legs total. All spiders have 4 pairs of legs, 8 legs total. So your answer is C, 4 pairs of legs. General science. What temperature is shown on a Kelvin thermometer when a centigrade thermometer reads 0 degrees? Pause, solve on your own, put answer in comments. Let's begin. Okay, lots to review here. So centigrade, that's the same as Celsius. Let's review some temperatures real quick. Water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius, 32 degrees Fahrenheit, and 273 Kelvin. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. See the connection? Freezes at 0, boils at 100, 212 Fahrenheit, and 373 Kelvin. All 6 of these you should memorize. Now notice the connection here in regards to the problem. 0 degrees Celsius, 273 Kelvin. So to convert Celsius to Kelvin, add 273. And please note, Kelvin doesn't have a degree symbol. It just uses K because Kelvin is considered an absolute scale, whereas Celsius and Fahrenheit are a relative scale, relative to when water freezes. So the answer is C, 273. General science. Of the following, the lightest element known on Earth is what? Remember to pause, solve on your own, put answer in comments. Let's begin. Now, key phrase, lightest element. And if you don't have your periodic table handy, let's go line by line. Hydrogen, H, 1 atomic mass. Oxygen, O, 16 atomic mass. Helium, He, 4 atomic mass. And air, well, that's not an element. That's a combination of elements. And to review, if you're not familiar with that U, that stands for Unified Atomic Mass Unit. Same idea as grams, ounces, and pounds, but when you're dealing with something as small as an element, you deal with atomic mass. So oxygen too heavy, helium too heavy, air too heavy. Your answer is A, hydrogen. General science. Of the following gases in the air, the most plentiful is what? Remember to pause, solve on your own, put answer in comments. Let's begin. Now, all 4 of these are in the air: argon, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide. But the question is most plentiful. So let's go line by line. Argon, argon's about 1%. Oxygen, about 21%. Nitrogen, 78%. Carbon dioxide, less than 1%, 0.05. So it looks like it's not argon, not oxygen, not carbon dioxide. The answer is C, nitrogen. Thank you for watching. At ASVAB Speed, you can watch question walkthroughs in all 9 subject areas, helping you pass the ASVAB faster.